This episode of the podcast is brought to you by our partner, Audible.
Yes, it is. So we are partnered with Audible. That means that if you are looking just to check it out, you don't want to put your card in and just take the dive. You can get 30 days for free on us. If you go to audibletrial.com/JATG or click the link down below, you'll be taken there. You can sign up for 30 days for free and just test it out. Like there's a lot of stuff on there that you can get for free, a lot of Audible exclusives. But what I really like about Audible is that out of the hundreds and thousands of audiobooks that they have, if you decide to purchase something, that is yours forever. Like if you decide not to carry on your subscription or you want to take a break or whatever it is, you can always go back and listen to that book whenever you want through the app on the internet. Doesn't matter because it's yours. So once again, you can get that for 30 days for free on us if you go to audibletrial.com/JATG.
Welcome one, welcome all. We're live. Johnny and the Greg.
We
doing,
are
bud?
doing good. It's October.
It is
I love-
October, October 1st. It is.
I love October.
Who doesn't, my man? I mean,
I know some people that don't. They think like this is October is the real death of summer, is what they feel. So a
wow,
lot of people don't like that. But
I love
I'm a
October.
fan.
To me, this is the rev up to
Got a good Oktoberfest going.
look at you.
Mhm.
I'm drinking for another reason. Bears played again.
Well, yeah, there is that too.
Yeah, so October, I feel like it's the rev up to like the holidays.
It is. Well,
You know?
and not everybody gets into Halloween like I would say you and I do, and there are people that get into it a lot more than you and I do.
Yeah.
But I love everything that surrounds spooky season.
Yes,
Because
I
it's
do.
to me, it's a holiday. I mean, it's
It's like a month-long holiday.
well, there's no expectations around it. Like there's no
there's
no like
candy.
well, but there's no family expectations. There's no
Got
like,
it,
big
got
family
it.
ties
Yeah.
for us where it's like, oh well, we have to go do this thing or anything
There's
along
no
those
stress
lines.
involved. There's no stress.
None. It is pick what fun thing you want to do and then go do it.
Yeah.
And I'm really pumped up for this year because we haven't done a Halloween party in years. Like a really
Oh, you're
long
going to
time.
one, aren't you?
We are. We're going to there's a place in Watertown, Wisconsin called Wisteria Castle.
Okay.
And they are literally this dude built a castle. Like,
cool.
Like it's
Yeah.
like the whole front, like the outside architecture is a castle. The inside is pretty like it's got some modernism kind of
Yeah.
stuff to it. But and this sorry, this thing just came up here. This couple bought it and they made like a party venue out of it. Like I know one guy who got married there and they did a really cool like medieval wedding ceremony for him, and they're doing this big Halloween party where the theme is like Victorian Gothic.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to, just cosplaying and like me and my wife are gonna go and do it. That's from 6 to 10 or something like that, and then we'll head out to the bars later. I'm just looking forward to that.
That'll be fun. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. I don't think we haven't gone to a Halloween party in probably about 8 years.
See, and that's I don't know. I wish it was more normalized amongst our group of friends.
Halloween parties, like a big bash?
Yeah, like someone or just like even going over to somebody's house like in costume, having a good time with it.
Yeah.
Like it seems to be something that a lot of people do in their 20s. And
You're
then
right.
once you hit 30s, it's like, well, let's dress the kids up and no one wants to take the time to do a costume for themselves.
You're right.
And by the time you're in your 40s, people are like, do we really want to do that? It's kind of sad. I get such a kick out of it. So
Yeah, I agree. This is one of the time of year where it's just so much fun. And especially now when you have a 5-year-old who is just at that peak now where her imagination's going wild.
Mhm.
And so every day she wants to be something new. So we don't know what she's actually gonna be yet. She told me
Mhm.
Batgirl, then it was Barbie, Then it was, I think, one of the Disney princesses. I can't remember which one because she switches a lot with those.
Uh-huh.
And today was she wanted to be a zombie.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know where she even got that from, but
Zombie Barbie Batgirl.
there you go. That might work.
That's
That might
doable.
that might work.
All pink Batman outfit, and then do a little zombie makeup on her for the.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. That might actually work now. I thinking about that. There you go. There you go. Hey, if you were gonna, well, I mean, you're going to a party now, but
Yeah.
what is the costume you've always wanted to do, but you can't do?
I, you know what? I would really like a kick-ass Darth Vader. Like when I've
Vader?
seen, yeah, like the 501st, the Vader's 501st, the
Yeah.
costume.
Are you talking about the guy what about
It's
the
a
guy we
charity.
saw at Gen Con? He had
Yeah,
a like
yeah,
that?
yeah. It's those that level of. I mean, you can purchase
Yeah.
a theatrical correct Darth Vader outfit. I mean,
Right.
if you want to put the money into it, complete with the voice actualizer and everything else. Some
Yep.
people because like all the plastic parts, like you can 3D print them. And then but I think that would be cool because I've got the dimensions for it. Like I'm tall and kind of broad
Yes.
shoulders, so and like I don't have to worry about my hair. I don't have to worry about like not looking the part or like
Got it.
having a beard or having to shave all that or just to cosplay a character. And
Yes.
and everybody's always liked Vader.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool. Um
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's probably the one that sticks out the most for me.
I want to be a werewolf. Like
Yeah.
put on the makeup, throw me in a suit. If I have to stand on stilts because you want to have the wolf feet,
Kind of
like
yeah.
I'll do it all. I like if I had an unlimited budget and I could go to like Hollywood and say, all right, put me in a
Well,
werewolf costume.
we had a professional cosplayer on. Tris Rex was his cosplayer name.
Yeah.
But he could probably put one together. I wouldn't be surprised if he already has put one together.
I'm sure he's busy. He's actually like taken off.
He has, yeah. In the cosplay world,
In the cosplay world, they are really
he judges a lot of stuff. I just saw one of him. I think it was like Rose City Comic Con, which I don't know where that is. Whatever city considers themselves Rose City is what I'm sure where it was. But he did now Tris Rex is a big dude. I'm pretty sure it was Tris Rex. It was either him or Night Mage. But they did like the guy was fit, like a power lifter fit, and he did a Darth Maul. But seeing Darth Maul be that thick, you're like,
that big.
That's menacing.
Yeah.
I met a cosplayer once and she had a full werewolf costume on, which is like wearing like a bear costume, more or less. But she had the articulated mouthpiece and the costume went all the way up to her eyes so she could still see.
Yeah.
She wasn't like looking through a mask or something like that. I'm trying to find a picture of it. But I did a picture of her like attacking me in a way.
Okay, yeah.
Where I'm just like, ooh, and then she's got her. But they were acrylic claws. And one of them was like really kind of poking my neck piece. And yeah, it was like I'm taking the picture and at the same time I'm like, ow, 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 ow. I got done. I'm like, that's actually poking in my neck meats.
Yeah.
I'll find the picture and I'll throw it on screen. But she did such a good job. And it was the type of werewolf we've talked about this on the show too. Like there are some werewolves in films you're like, huh, like, that's just not what I like. Harry Potter, which is a film series I adore, but when you see Lupin turn into the werewolf,
you're like,
he looks like a hairless greyhound, with like really elongated limbs, and you're like,
sometimes I think people overthink it.
Yeah.
When it comes, or they make it realistic, like, well, this is probably what would happen if you were to actually turn into a werewolf. It's like, no, don't do that.
Don't give me that.
Don't do that. Just go back to
or even a werewolf film that does the like, oh, they just turn into wolves. I'm like, no.
I hate that. Yeah.
No.
I hate that. I don't even care like the Twilight ones. Don't make them giant wolves. That's dumber, in my opinion.
They're just big dire wolf
Yeah.
kind of things. I'm like, no, I want a Wolfman. I want a Wolfman, which Wolfman with Benicio del Toro, one of the best.
Talk about this every time.
I think we do. Like people complain about that movie. I'm like, the makeup in that movie was spot on.
Absolutely. Actually, I didn't mind the movie. I think we've said that before.
Yeah,
I didn't mind it at all. I liked it because it's a werewolf movie.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted. I didn't need, I don't know. I don't need whatever they think was missing from it. I didn't.
There are so many B movie werewolf movies out there that you're like, no.
Speaking of movies, the writer's strike is over.
It is. Yeah. We'll see stuff in a year.
Yeah. Actor stuff isn't over yet. I just reached out to Danny to see what was actually going on. She says people are going to go back in Monday for a meeting. And
they're back at the table tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we'll see. What's interesting about the writer's strike is like everything that they were going for, they got. Like a lot of the things like as far as, I mean, there were some, I shouldn't say everything. There were some points that they didn't get, but for the most part, and Adam, his last name is Schaefer. He used to do a show called Adam Ruins Everything. He's
I know what you're talking about.
But he was on the negotiation board, and I saw him do a TikTok where he's like, "We won. Like we got what we were asking for. Like their salaries are gonna like they got like 5 times what they were asking for, and it's gonna go up incrementally over the next like 3 years or something like that." But yeah, writers are gonna get paid. They've blocked the dangers of AI that everybody was worried about with writers. And they were able to like say, no, you can't do that. And at some point, Hollywood must have realized, like the Hollywood executives are like, hey guys, if we don't have writers, we don't have actors, we go out of business.
Yep.
So that was good. I'm happy to see that they are getting
Me too. I look, there's enough of the pie to share it.
And that when you heard the numbers, if anybody dug into those, what the numbers actually were, there's a whole lot of pie out there, and they were just asking for a little bit more of a sliver. In the grand scheme of,
can I have some more, sir?
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Can I have some more?
Yeah.
I'm still looking for that werewolf picture.
Speaking of, while you're looking for that werewolf, we watched, we finally sat down as a family and we watched last night Into the Spider-Verse. I know I'm 5 months behind that thing.
Well, you're in the video years. You're in the streaming and stay at home, because taking a small child to the theater can be a rough experience.
Yeah. I remember when Lex asked me, did you see it? Because your son Lex is a huge Miles Morales guy.
Yeah.
And he said to me, he goes, have you seen it yet? Because he knows I like Spider-Man. And I'm like, no, I haven't seen it. And he looked at me dumbfounded. Like he couldn't fathom that you couldn't go see that. And I was just like, I almost felt like telling him, dude, I'm an adult. I can't see it right now.
I have spoiled my children, and I'm fully aware of that, on how often we get to see movies, when we get to see movies. I saw one this weekend. I'll talk about it in a second, because I found the werewolf picture.
Awesome. Show it.
So there you go. It'll pop up there.
Yeah, right there. Nice.
Yeah, right in front of Blue Water Production. Yeah, I mean that's not a mask. That's her eyeball. And actually, I didn't know that this was a lady until I said, you did a great job. And I heard her say, thank you very much. And I'm like, oh, it's a lady. But this nail, that hurt. Both of them. I was like, okay, no, I know I said attack me, but oh my God. But yeah, just a fantastic job. The jaw would move a little bit when she spoke. And
that's a good
one. It was fantastic. And just for reference, this was in 2008.
Okay.
So I bet she's doing more advanced things now.
Probably, or either that, or she moved on from the werewolf.
Probably. But anyway.
So just real quick, Spider-Verse. Very good. Not only I thought it was really good.
Did you know about the cliffhanger going in?
I did know about the cliffhanger. I didn't know how it would cliffhang.
Yeah. Okay.
So then I saw Gwen fell asleep.
It's a 2-hour movie. Yeah.
Ursula was into it.
No, she wasn't. It's an
No,
animated.
she
It's a
was.
cartoon. No,
No,
it's a
that's why I said
cartoon.
when I said well, we can watch Spider-Man. She's like, yeah, I'll do that. I'm like, you know, it's animated, right? And she's like, yeah, but it's a movie. I'm like, but it's still animated. The whole thing's animated. Like, you're okay with this. Fantastic movie. She loved it. She loved I love how they really pulled in the families of like Gwen and Miles.
Yes. Yeah. The whole
Like,
thing with Gwen was, and the
oh
way
yeah,
they turned the scenery of her world,
different. Yeah.
like it progressed with the story. And then that was, to me, was
Yeah.
amazing.
I'm sure if I rewatch that movie a couple more times, I'll notice stuff. I want to watch it again just to notice all the Spider-Men.
Yeah. Yeah. That takes a couple of viewings to
Yeah,
be
and
like, oh, that guy
they
in
were
that guy.
some of them were incredibly clever with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and there's like little passing monologues or there's passing dialogue where I think Miguel says, and don't even get me started with Doctor Strange and that kid from Earth 1-1. You know,
Yeah.
he was talking about the back home? Spider-Man, No
No
Way
Way
Home.
Home.
No Way
Yeah.
Home. So I liked how they were tying it all in. I
Yeah.
thought it was really well done.
Yeah. It really is. And I did not know about the cliffhanger the first time I saw it.
Okay.
Like they're getting, like, I'm looking at, I look at my watch. I'm like, this movie's almost over. Where are they going with this?
Yeah, you know
And
what's
then
funny? My wife was saying that too. She's like, "This is pretty long. Like, this is ending soon. Like, where are they going?" And
how,
I knew there was
okay.
a cliffhanger, but I wasn't gonna let her know that.
So they got to the be continued and she's like, no.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. The whole theater did that
yeah.
when we were there. And I mean, we were supposed to get it in March, like at least in March, but now it's not because of the Ryan actor strike. So
Oh, good. Well, at
like
least
it's,
okay. We're gonna get it, but
yeah,
it's not gonna be. What I'm saying is, it might be 2024. It won't be in 3 years from now.
no, like it is
Suck. Yeah,
animated. Like
yeah.
it's animated. They need to get the actors to come in and record their dialogue.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, good movie. What'd you see?
Yeah. We saw The Creator, which is new
Oh,
out this
yeah.
week.
And
Fantastic
I
science
had a
fiction.
freaking feeling.
It is really good. It's heady sci-fi,
Yeah.
but if you're someone who doesn't do heady sci-fi and you're more into the action kind of thing, there's a more than enough action in there. Uh it's it's all about AI. It's
Yeah.
all about like what is AI, what is life. It's kind of a like an iRobot ish.
Yeah.
And as you're watching it, there are parts where you're like, are the filmmakers making this more? Are they doing Matrix? Are they doing like Terminator storyline? Like, where are they headed? Because there's little homages in there that you're like, it's literally like the meme where you're just like, I understood that reference. I got that.
Yeah.
There's one scene where you're in an AI of like a robot manufacturing facility, and they've got like a forearm, like a skeletal forearm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not the exact copy of it or something like that,
You
but
pick it up.
you're like, okay, where's this headed? Because you gotta ask yourself, who are the good guys, who are the bad guys in this?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, is it just the machines are just trying to exist, or is it humanity is the predominant, like, these are soulless, they're just things, it's just programming? Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
So it's very cool though, like a very, very good story. Action was great.
That Denzel Washington's son's in there, right?
Yes, and
He's great.
he is fantastic in I think every film I've seen except for this one. I did not know that was Denzel's son.
Okay.
Like, even when I saw Tenet,
Yeah.
like, I think is when we were watching Tenet, and we saw Tenet, that was a COVID movie. So like my wife and I had a date night. We were the only ones in the theater on like a Thursday night watching Tenet. And I turned to her and I'm like, God, this guy just reminds me so much of Denzel Washington. And she looked at me like I was smoking crack. She's like, his last name is Washington. I said, yeah, his last name's Washington. There are a ton of people named Washington. I mean, she's like,
Yes, I know.
that's Denzel's son. I was like, no, it's not. He goes, yes, that's his son. I said, no. Really? And so I never noticed his mannerisms before, because I also know like when he first started acting, he didn't use the name Washington. He was
Didn't
trying to no, I think he was trying to distance himself
like
from
the only time I've ever known him is in Tenet.
like the stuff he did before. I think Black Klansman was the first time he used the name Washington.
Okay.
Maybe I'd have to fact check myself on that, but like he was trying to like, I don't want to get by in my dad's name. I want to be
Yeah,
my own
yeah.
actor. So kudos to him. But in this movie, knowing it's Denzel's son, there were just the way he delivered a couple lines, or just sometimes people just sound like their fathers, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So you go, oh, I get it. Oh, I can totally see it now.
Yeah.
But it was a great movie, and all the other actors in it did such a great job. There's a point, and I read this later, because it's Gareth Edwards who directed Rogue One. He didn't tell some of his actors whether they were a human or a robot. He's like, I just want you to act.
Yeah.
And then like you could tell one character who is a purely robotic character, like other than the forearms,
Yeah.
or 2 arms, 2 legs, a head, like that's the only human looking part.
It looked like a humanoid. Yeah.
Well, no, it looked like a robot with
Okay.
arms and legs, like typical arms and legs. Uh, but that's it. Like it didn't have a human head or a human face. But the person that's acting it, the voice, the motions, everything, you can like, that's one of the guys that didn't know whether he was a human or a robot and just acted the part.
Yeah.
And that plays so well in the film.
Cool.
to really blur those lines of like, what is life? What is it to be a person? Because like they're sitting around a campfire, they're laughing, they're kind of razzing each other like in a soldierly kind of way, and you're just watching the camaraderie happen, and you're like, oh, okay. So it was really cool, really good movie.
Yeah, I saw the previews for that, and I was like, yeah, I think I want to see this movie, but of course I'm gonna have to wait till
when it comes
to the rental sphere.
Totally worth it. Totally worth it.
I will totally check that out. So I don't know if you can tell through my voice or not, but after last week's podcast, I got sick all week, right?
Really?
Yeah. And it was off and on. Like I'd feel like $1,000,000, and then I would go do something, and probably by doing that something, I wore myself out. So I felt like shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that just happened all the way up until Friday. But I was thinking, do you remember when you were a kid and you'd stay home from school? Did you stay home from school, or were your mom the type to send you out regardless?
When I was a little kid, I would stay home from school sometimes, but like middle school through high school.
Okay. No.
Very, very rarely.
Okay. Did you have a go-to TV show or movie when you were sick?
No, not that I remember.
No, like, so you weren't like, you didn't watch the Munsters and then the Addams Family?
To me, it happened so rarely.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I remember in middle school, it was such a nerdy thing to get the award for like perfect attendance.
Yeah, that did suck.
But I got that, and mom's so proud.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, and I'm just going, shit, did I not miss
a
single day of school? Damn it. I mean, just kind of like, yeah. So I think that was my 8th grade year. I didn't miss any. I probably was sick once or twice.
Wow.
Yeah. But there was no option. Like we didn't have anybody. I don't know if my parents just didn't want me to stay home by myself. But mom and dad worked. And so there was like, nope, you got to go to school. But I don't remember getting sick that often, like stay home sick. But I know, like, if I had a cold, it was like, it's just a cold, go to school. And I'm like, okay. That has not transferred well into my parenting.
Oh no, they stay home.
No. And my wife is very much like, if they don't feel good, they stay home. And I'm like, no, there's levels to this. She's like, no, there's not. If they don't feel good, they stay home until they're
no, she's wrong. Sorry, she's wrong.
And I'm going, no. So
she's wrong.
I lose on that one pretty often.
I'm a big proponent of that. Ursula is very much okay. My mom, if I went hachoo, she would instantly go, Johnny, do you feel okay? Do you need to stay home? Like she'd give it to me.
Yeah, that was.
I'd take it because I was a kid. I'd take it. But as I got older, I realized number one, nobody cares if you're sick.
Mhm.
Number two, you kind of you're not tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have to almost tough. You have to like train yourself to be tough, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if just from a kid, if you understand because you were raised that way, that it doesn't matter what's happening to me.
Yeah.
Like I got to do what I got to do. Ursula's
I
very much like that with Gwen, and I am with Gwen as well. But Ursula, sometimes I have to go, Ursula, she's 5. And look, we've seen what you can do.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to go through that.
Yeah.
Like there's sometimes my wife needs to sit down.
Yeah. It doesn't.
Yeah. So there's a balance.
I remember my senior year of high school. Now, and I was already fighting off an injury from football.
Yeah.
Which was actually a broken bone, and we didn't know about it yet.
Where?
In my leg. Same
Nice.
injury that who did I read just got this injury? It's a broken fibula, the smaller bone in your leg. So not your shin bone, the one that goes behind it.
That's not a fibula.
It's
Fibula
not.
is the big one. Big one.
Then it's the tibia. Tibula. I wasn't good at biology. But the smaller bone behind. No, yeah, tibia's. I just looked it up. Tibia is the shin bone. Fibula's. Did I say it wrong? Did I say
no? I'm probably wrong there. Okay. What's the really big bone from the above the knee to the hip?
That's your femur.
Femur. Sorry.
That one.
Okay.
That one I know from the burbs. This is Walter. This is Walter's femur. That's why I. That's why I know the word. I fractured my fibula playing football, and so homecoming week, right? It's homecoming week. I started to feel sick on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, my mom was like, "You have a fever. Like you need to stay home." And I was like, "I'll see how I feel at noon." And so at noon, I drag my ass out of bed and I go to school. My coach sees me. He's like, "I thought you were sick." I said, "I am sick, but I know the rules. And if you don't show up to practice the day before a game, you don't get to play in the game." Yeah. And he looked at me. He's like, "That's a guideline. Like, what are you doing here?" Yeah. He's like, "You look like shit." I mean, I guess I was pale. And I was like, I thought I had to be here. And he's like,
"Put me in, coach."
Yeah. He's like, he had an office off the weight room. Yeah. He's like, "Go to my office and take a nap right now." So I had to go lay on this like little cot thing he had in his office. He's like, "No one's going to be in there. You're fine." And so I went and like slept for a couple hours and, showed up to practice. And it's the day before a game. So it's a pretty light practice. Yeah. And he's like, I did like 2 or 3 run throughs or something like that. And then I was done. But I'm like, I'm already nursing a broken leg. So they don't think, like I said, I didn't know it was broken, but I'm like, I'm already hobbled. So they're already going to give me less plays and worry about me and not put me in now if I'm sick. I just didn't want to miss my senior year homecoming.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
So yeah, that was the only moment I can really say like I should have stayed home.
Yeah.
But like if I had a stuffed up nose or whatever, I'm like, whatever, they got Kleenex at school. And I would just suffer through. Like,
okay, so your mom and your dad instilled a little toughness in you that you don't miss days.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that was
good. That's good. I think that's missing a lot now.
But I know like for Krista, she had strep throat all the time. Like, so she would stay home there like it's strep. Like you can't fight through that when you've been diagnosed with strep. You got to stay home.
Correct.
And take antibiotics for so many days before you can go back.
Right.
But my kids have figured out like, and the kids are up and they're pretty self-sufficient in getting themselves to school. If they don't feel good, they will just come into our room, wake up Krista and be like, "I don't feel good." She's like, "Fine, I'll call you in." And I find out later because I'm asleep. And then I leave my room to come down here where I work. Yeah. And I go, "Why are you still in bed?"
Yeah.
Because I don't feel good. I'm like, how do you not feel like what's the
Yeah.
like how not good do you like you should
Dad's gonna figure it out.
yeah
Yeah.
and no it's just the no don't do it so I've got enough fights I'm like I'm not doing it anymore that's fine stay home
Tickle in my throat. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's an interesting parenting battle.
mm-hmm.
So
And it's because I've been on the other end when I was a teacher there were and I've seen both sides there were kids that came to school I'm like you shouldn't be here like you're contagious go home
mhm.
and then the other side of it is, oh, you got the sniffles and you had to stay home for 3 days because you
Yeah.
got the sniffles.
Yeah.
So I don't know where the middle ground is. Like, you know, I also know that what they teach in school on any one given day, fine, you can make that up later. That's not a big deal.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. I just feel like it's not about this. It's actually not about that day. It's about building something. What do
Mhm.
you call that? Grit? What do you call
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, it's building that for when shit gets tough. Because the one thing, there's a bunch of things nobody tells you about when you're going to be a parent. Even your best
Mhm.
friends forget to mention it because it's almost common sense, but that common sense doesn't hit you until the day hits you. But there's no days off when you're a parent. So if you're
None.
sick and you got 100 and something fever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And those are the days where I was like, man, I should have more grit than this because I just want to hide in my bed all day. And I'm like, I can't. I got to be a dad. I got to do this. I got to do that. Yeah.
And it's so weird. Where I work now, we have an unlimited PTO
Right.
policy. But having that level, that work ethic of like, oh,
Yeah. Did they force you to take vacation, Greg?
they did. Yeah, they
Yeah.
have. Um, or like just a day off. They're like, you haven't taken a day off, and so they take a day off. And I'm like, I don't have to though. Like I got nothing to do. They're like, just do it. You're fine. But like now, it's still like I have to fight my own instinct
Yeah.
of like I'll be sitting at I'll be like, I don't feel great. Like either it's just in the moment or like it's a bad allergy day or
Yeah.
something like that. Every other job I ever had is like doesn't matter. Pop some allergy meds and muscle through the day.
Yeah.
So you're sitting at staring at your computer screens like barely able to keep your eyes open.
Yeah.
Um and where I'm at now, they're like, shut down, go to your living room. Like that's fine. Like whatever. Like then there's nothing so detrimental. I'm like, but there is things I have things I have to produce and do. They're like, not if you're unwell, like go get better. And so it's a very different kind of thing. And it's, yeah, like I've been there over a year. It's still tough for me to be like,
What do you think about that though, long term?
I think it's healthier. I mean, it's definitely healthier for the
You think it's
employee.
healthier?
It is because it's going to, it one changes how you judge, like, can you get through the day or not?
Yeah.
You're like, and then when knowing your employer has your back that much, like I think you tend to have more loyalty, you work harder when you feel better. I mean, there's just, you know, you
Okay.
don't ever you don't ever have to feel
Obligated?
yeah, obligated or weird where you're like, I'm sorry, I just really need a day. They're like, that's fine. So
Okay. All right. I don't have two sides of that coin like you do. I only have that one side that
mhm,
where it's just go.
yeah,
So
it's still tough. Like I still have to kind of I think I took a day off to move my daughter to college or to prep for the college
yeah,
move-in day.
yeah,
And I took a half day. And they're like, why aren't you taking the whole day? I'm like, well, somebody already booked a meeting at like 9 o'clock. They're like, so cancel the meeting. Like, why would you not? Or no, it was my wife's birthday. That's what it was. Like for
oh,
my wife's birthday. And they're like, why are you only taking a half day? It's your wife's birthday. Take a whole day. I'm like, no, it's fine. We're not gonna get moving till later. Like, we're just gonna be
yeah,
we're not gonna be productive until probably the afternoon.
like
We'll
two
go do
o'clock.
something. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm like, so it's fine. Like I can still do my 9 or 10 o'clock meeting. And they're like, okay, do your meeting and then sign out. Like
right.
don't feel like you have to sit at your desk until noon. just do your meeting and then be done. I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
So it's a great place to work. I absolutely love it.
Good.
Skooks.
Good for you, Greg.
Skooks.
I actually use your programming to get taught.
You do. Yeah. We have a client list. Like there are people that are clients that don't even know they're clients because the way they make the user experience for them. But we just signed somebody. And now that I say that, I don't know if I should say their name.
It's a hard thing because when you're being trained, it comes off as stupid and childish, but at the same time, it's like you don't want to come across boring, so you have to.
Right.
It's like when I'm sitting there taking my training, I'm like, oh my God, I know how to work a box cutter.
See, but you take what's called compliance training, where it's like you have to be trained on this every year so that the company can say, yes, they're safe.
I know how to look out for myself going to my car.
Yeah. Yeah. It's things like that. And yeah, it's tough as a trainer.
Flips,
like
trips, and falls. Oh my God.
Try to keep it interesting, but there's a part of me that it still wants to do like the infomercial, like for slips, trips, and falls, where just walking and then you randomly fall like in the worst prat fall ever.
Like boom. What happened to Greg?
Yeah.
Let's review.
Like, let's watch Greg. And now you fall and you go, oh, and just like the worst fall ever, and be like, make it funny. Just lean into it.
Right. Yeah. I think maybe that would work out is if they leaned in more to the cheesiness than anything.
There's
where you were sitting there like laughing your ass off going, okay, yeah.
There's a YouTube video out there of like the worst infomercial things, like the 1 o'clock in the morning infomercials where like the old man sits down and like his bowl of chips he can't keep it on his lap for some reason, so they have some kind of like non-stick thing, but he's got like a 5-gallon bowl of like Cheetos or something, and he's like, oh no, and then it
falls like oh man,
flying.
Do you hate it when this happens, folks?
Yeah. Is this you? No. Who the hell's gonna eat that many Cheetos?
Yeah, who has that much Cheetos?
It's like 3 family-sized bags, and he's sitting like one sitting. No.
All right, Greg. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. We're 38 minutes in, so
we're going to the NFL. What are we doing?
We are. We're going to ask you how you felt about your Thursday night football game.
It went as I expected it to go, so much to the point where I didn't watch it. Like okay. I forgot it was a Thursday night game this week.
Yeah, I was on.
And that was the night my oldest daughter came home early from school because she didn't have class. She didn't have class on Friday. So that's the night we went and saw The Creator. And it was just like we were having dinner. It's like, oh shit, it's Thursday night football. Well, they're playing the Lions. Lions are on a roll. Yeah, this isn't gonna go well.
Okay, so you expected it.
Yeah. I did not expect like LaFleur's reaction. Like in the press conference.
I appreciate that.
I did. It was good.
I appreciate that. My coach sucks with reactions. My coach is just like he does the regurgitated coach speak. Well, we just got to do better. No shit, you got to do better.
Yeah. LaFleur's
aren't you upset about it?
He looked at the report. He's like, that's a bullshit question. We got our ass kicked. What do you want me to do? I'm like,
see, I'm fine with that. And today, I think Mike Tomlin yelled at somebody, somebody said, considering how you guys have been struggling on offense, do you think it's time for you guys to make some changes? He goes, you're damn right there's going to be changes. Like, awesome. That's what I want. Our coach. Go ahead.
I looked because the Bears are coming up on a full calendar year
without a win.
Yep. Without a win.
Yep.
And somebody was like, hey, they fired Lovie Smith for being 20-16. Like,
what?
Yeah, like
10-6. 10-6.
Was it 10-6?
Yeah, he had a 10-6 year that year. Didn't make it to the playoffs.
Maybe that's
he got fired.
And he got fired, and you're like, ooh.
From that point on,
nothing. And you're like, God. Again, I was just having this conversation with my wife, actually. about the NFL is better when the Bears are decent. Like, I don't want them to
Yeah.
beat the Packers. I don't want them to, but it having like there's no rivalry right now. It's just Jesus, guys, come on. Like,
Yeah, it's just big brother beating the shit out of little brother.
I think I don't know if I sent it to you because I feel like you've been beat up enough with
Oh no, I take it in
sending
stride.
shit.
I got nothing. I got
There,
nothing.
one comedian went on there. He's like, he's playing both sides. He's the NFL, and then he goes and he's got like the Bears coaching
Oh
staff
yes, I've seen that. Yes.
where he's like, you're
Yes.
being regulated. We're like,
Yeah.
we're relegated. He's like, you're going to be relegated. What does that mean? Well, it's the thing they do in soccer. We're actually moving you to the CFL, and we're going to bring up like the
Iowa Battlehawks, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah,
yeah. And, Ottawa Battlehawks are going to take your place
Yeah.
in the NFL, and
Yep.
they're like, what do you like? Well, you're so bad that we're bringing up a team from the CFL that's better than you."
yeah."
And you're like, oh, this is so
Yeah.
brutal.
Well, I sent you something with the Bears. It had to be a little league football team that they didn't know how to break through the.
Oh, yeah. The Little League came on. They're like,
Yeah.
no, you have to go through the paper, and like
The best part of that is the coach was like, "My God, we can't even get that right."
like half the team went through one side of the paper and half the team went through the
they
other
slammed
side,
into each
slammed
other.
into each other. And
Yes,
yes,
that
you
is
are
your
correct.
20
Some Bears coaches are being charged with crimes. Do we know what the crimes are that he's being charged with?
Alan Williams? Nope.
Yeah. They still haven't said anything? Yeah.
Nothing. They said that he did something and Bears HR was involved. So I think it was one of those situations where it's like, look, you have two options here, man. You can either get fired or you can resign.
Yeah.
It's up to you. If you resign,
Immediately.
we won't say anything about it.
Yeah.
But if you get fired with why you were fired and
Yeah.
so I think that's what happened. But anyway, I was kind of with you about this Bear game. In fact, Greg and Bear Nation out there, don't get mad at me. I'm already kind of moving on to next year.
Yeah.
So I'm actually watching the Bears and I'm watching the Carolina Panthers. And I read some stat today that
Panthers do today.
they lost.
They lost. Okay.
Yeah, but not by much. I'm shocked that Minnesota didn't kick their ass. They barely won that game. Minnesota did. I'm shocked by that because I thought Minnesota was way better than what they're showing.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
But they're supposed to be some sort of super duper fantastic once in a generation quarterback coming out in the draft this year. And I'm like, okay.
You're talking about the kid from USC?
Yeah, Caleb Williams. I'm like, all right, if we get him, maybe we can put this on the right track with a new coaching staff and we'll see what happens. And just start the reset button all over again. That's where I'm at right now. So even when they played today, I was like, that's good. Okay, good. We're playing with something. We're doing something. And all of a sudden just got erased and we lost. And I was like, all right.
Well, yeah.
Well, at least we're on the.
I know the Broncos were coming out hungry after that ass beating they took last week, but
yeah.
By the way, what happened to Broncos quarterback? Played for the Seahawks and played for the Badgers.
Russell Wilson?
What happened to him? Like,
talk about falling off a cliff.
I mean, he's got Super Bowl rings, and now it's like he wouldn't get drafted. Well, I mean,
what I've heard, and I've the guys that talk about football throughout the year, throughout the week, they have more knowledge, or they'll forget more knowledge than I'll know. But one guy said, I've heard, and it sounds about right, he's not as athletic as he used to be, which was his calling card.
Okay.
Like it saved his ass a lot. He could get out of the pocket and then see what was out there and throw it versus just sitting there. What?
Kurt just said, I'm watching the Taylor Swift game. I think she's getting more TV time before every commercial.
Okay. Who gives a shit? I don't know why this is a big deal. Does anybody know why this is a big deal?
I do, but
is she that amazing? Like,
yes. I mean, and I'm not like a big Taylor Swift fan.
Sounds like you are.
No, but I recognize the talent. She has amassed the level of fame of like Michael Jackson and Madonna and U2 and like these people that will pack out every stadium they're ever at. She's at that level. Like it took me a little bit to get there. And I think it was my daughters were watching something that she was on, and it showcased her like as a talent. Like she is a musically talented woman. Like I'm not going to deny that, but she's able to tap into like this feminine ire that a lot of women have, that everybody can, like they're going nuts over it. I mean, Danny's a big fan. Maybe we should ask her when we ever talk to her again. But
No,
the,
I'm not
her
gonna talk about Taylor Swift.
the whole idea of like who she's dating, because everybody she dates, she breaks up with, and it ends horribly, like in a train wreck, and then she'll make a new album out of it. So,
Well, isn't that what got Alanis Morissette famous when she dated Ryan Reynolds? And then
no, she was famous before Ryan Reynolds.
I thought the song I thought like
No, the song, the would he go down on you in a theater, or she go down on you in a
yeah,
theater song?
that's
That
not
was
about
about
Ryan.
no, that's about Uncle Joey from Full House, Dave Coulier. Yes, that's about him. They were both Canadian. He's a Canadian actor, comedian. She's a Canadian musician.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. That's well documented. No, so she was famous before she started dating. Like
Ryan
like
Reynolds?
her big song came out in like 90. Her first album, Jagged Little
Right.
Pill, like 95.
I thought that was about him.
Nope. Nope.
Like,
Dave
I
Coulier.
had the timelines mixed up then. Okay.
Dave Coulier. Anyway,
Okay.
but Taylor Swift's entire thing is about breakup songs. I mean, that's
Yeah.
she's got some other songs that I'm like, that's a fun song. She makes fun of herself, whatever. But she's a level of entertainer. She's never going away. Like,
I'm not asking her to go away, but what I don't understand is,
but everybody she
she's
dates,
dating a player now.
Even if it wasn't a player, she could be dating a NASCAR driver, and NASCAR would be the target of all of this.
Right. But what I'm saying is, okay, if Taylor Swift just went to this game,
yes,
it wouldn't be that big of a deal as it is now because she's dating the guy on the team.
I think they would still show her a lot as like Taylor's in the building. But did you hear what I mean? Just because she is dating Kelsey, like his jerseys went up by 400%.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Because all of her fan base are now, I mean,
Kelsey fans. They're
Kelsey
Chiefs
fans
now. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's total bandwagon kind of bullshit, but the NFL doesn't care. They're like, billions. We get billions. They're getting a piece of the Taylor pie.
Yeah. Wow. I could give a shit. Like they were like, I was looking at my timeline. It's like Taylor Swift has entered the building. I'm like, who fucking cares?
Oh,
He's not playing the game.
Swifties care.
I don't care if the Swifties like.
Yeah. Well, and that's, they've definitely the fan bases are divided.
Yeah.
But again, the NFL don't care.
That's true.
There are people that are like the Kansas City Chiefs tickets have gone through the roof, like the secondary market, like SeatGeek and everything, because now people are going, they don't care about the game. They just want to get nosebleed seats up by the boxes to maybe get a glimpse of Taylor.
That's dumb.
It is so dumb. But again, as long as they're paying for it, they don't care.
Yeah, but it works. You can tell that I've gotten to that age now where
Oh yeah, you're
like, I remember when I was young and I would explain something to my mom or my dad and I was really excited about it. Like one of them would be like, that's dumb.
like
and I would always be like, how can you say that? But now I'm at that age where I'm sure Gwen's going to find some pop star she loves in her teeny bopper years. And I'll be like, oh God.
Yeah, you will. And like I bought cheap tickets for my daughter to go see Shawn Mendes when he was he had a couple songs like when she was in middle school, and he was at Summerfest, and there was a secret Summerfest sale where I could get tickets for like $20 for the Marcus Amphitheater, like in the grass.
Okay.
So I was like, should we do this for like buy a set of tickets and then we'll go and she can take a friend? And so we did that, and it ended up, I was kind of pissed. It ended up being her friend, and then her friend's mom got to go, and then Kate and Krista went, and I stayed home. So
Stayed home.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you're not allowed to watch music.
Yeah. I'm like, and they're like,
listen to music.
Kate was like, you don't even like him. I'm like, do you know how much music is at Summerfest that I would just walk around? Like, I don't even need to go into the amphitheater. I was walking around Summerfest.
Right.
But
yeah. Yeah, I don't get it, but I guess that's me being old.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. I recognize her talent musically. I recognize the world phenomenon she is. I don't care who she dates. Like this is just the new media thing. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, whatever. Kurt says the
Yeah.
State Farm guy is there too. Good for him.
Well, isn't he there because of Aaron?
State Farm guy?
Yeah.
He does
Oh,
more with
because Aaron and Mahomes are
yeah,
both State Farm guys.
yeah. They're both. Is Aaron still doing State Farm stuff?
You know what? I haven't seen a commercial with him at State
For
Farm.
a while. I don't know if he's still doing that. Like
Maybe not.
maybe
Maybe
they
that
dropped
whole
him
anti-vax thing pissed them off or something.
that or the ayahuasca. I don't know.
Something. All right, man. I think we're done.
Yeah, not a lot going on.
Yeah, go for it. Send us out. Take us.
Well, it's 2020 Chiefs Jets.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Chiefs
Jets are hanging in there?
They are. They
Good
are.
for you, Jets.
2020, 11 minutes left in the fourth.
Good for you.
So I guess no matter who wins or loses, Taylor's going to win. And when you're talking about it tomorrow, don't be a douche.
There you go. So for the Greg, this is Johnny leaving you with the thought of, if you're ever at a restaurant and you're waiting for a waiter, do you realize you are now a waiter? Boom. See you later. Take care. Podcast out. Bye.